Can you see there being a coaching change in Cincinnati?
There's got to be. They've already got rid of the defensive coordinator, I think.
They swapped
Uh,
the. I reckon it's like the fucking Sugar Babes being DC in
mm,
Cincinnati, isn't it? But overall, at some point, Taylor's got to be responsible because this is a team who should be in the Super Bowl mix.
yeah. But when you look at the offense is probably second. Well, on a good day, you've got Joe Burrow, top three quarterback. You've got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
Yeah,
You've
good
also
running
got
back.
Chase Brown as running back. Tight ends got Gasecki and Samples there.
Question marks over
Hudson.
the line.
The line, yeah. So you think the line might need one or two players, but it's easy for the Bengals. I think for this season's draft, you've got to bring in defensive players. And do you know something? Get a few defensive players in. It's easy said than done, but this could be a contender for next season. This should be a contender every season while they've got all these stars playing for them.
Well, you could get players in. Getting players in isn't a problem. It's
Yeah,
having the defensive mind there to actually do something with them.
with it. Yeah, I agree.
And
Yeah,
that's
you're right.
that seems to be the bit that the Bengals have struggled with
Yeah.
for forever in my lifetime.
I'll tell you what the Bengals seem to do. Do you know how we always say about the Patriots? Probably never the best team, but the best organised and the best systematic team. Belichick had a system, got the players in to play a system.
No frills is
No,
there.
no frills football. There you go.
Where Bengals are all frills.
Yeah, but they've got all frill, and it's completely different. So they've got now play callers doing the defense, but they haven't got the players to do what he's calling. If you know what I mean.
I think a better defensive coach can get his ideas across better. That's
Yeah,
what I always used to say about how good Belichick was on TV. All right, he was still a miserable bastard, right? But he'd explain things in a really clear, concise way,
yeah,
and you go, "That's why he's so good because
yeah.
he could get his point across really well." And I'm not saying NFL players are thick as mints, but a lot of them probably are.
Majority.
So if you've got a coach who can get these things across easily, that will make him a successful coach. Whereas if they
Yeah.
can't do that, like for example, everyone who's ever been a DC at Cincinnati, it's that's where the problem lies. I
So
mean,
I'm
even
looking.
these days, you look at someone like Vic Fangio, who's
Yeah,
106 years old, and
a
he's
year ago that I think.
yeah, but the difference he makes as well, just by going in everywhere he goes in and does a good job.
There's quite a few of
He's
them.
never been a head coach, has he? Well, I don't think he's
No,
been a head coach.
no, like Spike for he's at Bucks. He's their defensive coordinator. They also were at the Giants. He was their defensive coordinator during their heyday when beat the
Lawrence
Patriots.
Taylor. Oh no,
Yeah,
that one, yeah, one with
he's got a few.
OC in that.
But yeah, he's been there. So he's been done it. Has he been an head coach? Not sure if Steve
I don't.
Spagnuolo has been a head coach or
I'm
not,
not sure. He might have been.
but not
I'm
long.
trying to remember he's been on the long rotating list of Browns coaches because it seems like they might have thrown money at him at some point to be their head
Yeah,
coach.
possibly. So then I look at like with the successful teams of defensively. Do you know what I would do? Even though the last couple of weeks they've not played as well as they could do, I'd go to the Browns and see if I could get someone who plays under their defensive coordinator, bring him in, trial him. Someone who's got a good defense out there. So Browns, we know they have a good defense, but they've given up now for end of season. And why would they carry on?
It's
You
hard
had
to tell if they've given up. They're still playing the same way they have all season.
You got Salah, who's gone from the Jets, who's now the defensive coordinator at the 49ers. So
Massively improved this year on defense
of course they have, yeah.
without their two best defensive players.
Yeah. All right, they've given up 24 points against the Titans, but a win to win. So there's going to be coaches out there who will be looking for a job. I'm going to go one higher than that. How would the Bengals go on if they got a new head coach?
Would they be less good on offense? That'd be the question.
That's it, isn't it? That's it. So if you're going to go for a head coach, and would you bring a defensive minded head coach in bring it,
I
obviously,
would.
a good offensive coordinator in.
No,
Like,
I would get in a defensive minded head coach
yeah,
because Burrow to chase is a huge weapon, regardless of who your
yeah,
head coach
yeah.
is.
No, I agree. So then you bring in your offensive guy who's been like Ben Johnson, who went to uh, the Bears. I know you're not going to get him, but he's going to get some offensive coordinators from a poorer club. Who wouldn't want to go to Bengals when you've got them weapons?
They were locked. Wait, they're worse than the sum of their parts, if you ask me. The Bengals.
Mm. God, if
They're
I was
kind of
a
like the anti-Steelers because
yeah,
the Steelers seem to do better than expected every year, and
yeah.
the Bengals seem to do worse than expected every year.
Well, I think with them two, you look at the Steelers and they're gritty, they wear teams down, whereas the Bengals are all like,
Borderline unwatchable.
yeah, and you're right. Bengals are opposite because they can just dazzle you with what they've got, but have got a soft underbelly. So I would bring a defensive head coach in there, offensive coordinator. As long as it's decent, you can't go wrong with that bloody offense.
No,
But you know,
you're gonna rack points up in most of your
yeah,
games. Obviously, this is probably not the week to bring that up, but
no, I know, but
this time they were on fucking. It was Christmas party day,
yeah,
wasn't it for them?
of
They've given
course.
up.
But I just think just for him to be a bit more not watchable because already watchable, but a bit more winningly. I think we just need that head coach, a defensive coordinator moved up into an head coach. Then I can see them getting better and take them more serious.
Are they in the position soon? And it might happen in like the next year, where I think Joe Burrow will enter the. I think he's now got about 2 years left of his
Yeah.
contract. So after next year, if the defense isn't significantly improved,
Mm-hmm.
does he start thinking I could go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl?
Well, even bigger than that, because you've got then a decision further up there with the GM saying, "Right, we've got Joe Burrow, we've got Browning. I know he's not. We've thrown him in. He's not been great, but I think he's a bit too early. I think he's sat there again. It might be worth giving another go. What can we get for Joe Burrow? Because he's going to be in that position where he's going to be maybe not being in his prime in a year or two. That still might be coming. There's still ceiling.
He's 28, I think.
Yes, there's still a ceiling on Joe Burrow. I don't think he's at his ceiling yet. I think he can still keep going. But that's another decision they've got to make, isn't it? Are they going to part ways with Joe Burrow and bring in a few first round picks? It'd be interesting.
Well, yeah, but also if they wait too long,
Yeah,
they're not going to be in a position to get too much for him
yeah.
because he's 2 years away from
Mm-hmm.
being a free agent.
You say
Oh, right,
that,
they'll franchise tag him,
yeah,
but that's going to end up costing them an absolute shit show and annoying him. So,
yeah. I'm not. You see, I kind of disagree. I think he's still going to get desperate teams out there, even when he comes up to his last year. We'll be throwing. Oh, we'll take him. He's worth a couple of first rounders, and you can see that happening. I think these teams out there would, but it's where what is Joe Burrow's? What is he thinking now? Is he thinking Super Bowl rings? Is he thinking payday? Saying he just got paid out massively of the
I
season.
don't think he's thinking payday. I
I
think he's
don't.
thinking playoffs.
Yeah, me too.
So the fact that he probably wouldn't need a record-breaking contract in order to go, yeah, Steelers, come on, get Joe Burrow in.
Can you just imagine that though? Joe, I know it's the same division, but Joe Burrow to
Yeah,
DK Metcalf.
that's why I can't. Although to be honest, quarterback hasn't been our issue this year. It's been lots of other things. But
But
he is used to playing behind a shit O line, so he'll feel at home instantly.
I'll give you another one where it possibly could end up is Matt Stafford when he retires.
That would be too good. That would be, and also it's the sort of thing that McVay would do.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, has he got his eye on? Because I'll tell you what, Matt Stafford, he's been absolutely pounded again this season, and he's been pounded all his career. He really has. When he was at Lions, he got hammered, and you think that's a perfect fit. Can you imagine Joe Burrow for LA Rams?
If they win
Ooh.
the Super Bowl this year, and they could,
Yeah,
I think he might walk off into the sunset.
yeah,
Matt Stafford.
be perfect, wouldn't it?
If they don't win it, I think he does another year. But if they win it, I think he goes.
I'm looking at should Joe Burrow go, and I agree with you. I think he'd want to go for a Super Bowl title rather than pay. Listen, this guy's on multi-millions a year. And anyone at this stage of the career looking for more millions, listen, he's going to get paid no matter what. He's still going to get paid a top 5 wage, 6 wage and a quarterback, whatever it's going to be at that time. So that money will look after itself. So I'm looking at the teams who would want him. I think 49ers, Purdy, Seattle Seahawks. There's a
Maybe.
crowd. So that's a possibility. Rams, I think perfect fit for him. Then you go up to the next division. Buccaneers, Mayfield's still got that job for a while. Lions, Jared Goff, he could possibly go there. Patriots aren't going to go away.
Goff's only like a year older than him or something though, and Goff's a fit for the Lions.
Yeah, then you've got Packers. Well, they're not going to go from Love. Bears have got Caleb, so they're not going to go from there. Cowboys have got...
Bears do 3 years, so Caleb's got another year before he gets ditched.
But then you go to Cowboys and Eagles, they're pretty much set there. You got to AFC West, Broncos, they're not going to deviate from Bo Nix. Chargers, they're not going to get away from Herbert there, I don't think.
Chiefs I don't know. I reckon Justin Herbert's going to do an Andrew Luck.
I think that's a possibility. Chiefs won't go away from Kermit. Then you go one up. Texans, Stroud coming back and playing well.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Colts, I don't think they're a Super Bowl.
That's one.
That's another. Okay, Jacksonville Jaguars. That's suicide.
They're tied to him for 5 years.
Yeah, so they won't go there. Ravens with... Well, let's keep away from that division because they think they won't be stupid enough to go there.
They won't do. Only the Browns are stupid enough to trade within the division.
Yeah, exactly. Then you go above the Patriots, Drake May, Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen. So there's only like 2-3 teams you could really go to.
Steelers.
Well, possibly, no. But I don't
because it's in the division.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So we recognise there we've got Seahawks, Rams,
unless you go
Lions,
and unless it's just like ends up being the fucking Jets.
No, that's pure payday.
There's always a chance the Jets will put the best offer in and convince some poor unfortunate quarterback to go to New York.
You will get these lesser teams coming in, and obviously they're going to have to pay more, but they've got more. A first round pick from someone shit like the Titans, but of course they've got Cam Ward. Cleveland won't go to Cleveland. Las Vegas Raiders have come in and given like 2-3 first round picks for him. But in that division, you've got Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos. You're not going to pass them. Don't matter who you've got, even with Joe Burrow in that team.
I can't believe. I'm very surprised the Raiders have got worse this year. I genuinely am. I thought they'd still finish bottom of that division, but they'd be competitive, and they are fucking atrocious.
Awful. Yeah, I agree. You've got a decent head coach coming back. Maybe he's past that now. I do not know the answer for the Raiders. Even Tom Brady, I think, is giving up with that. He's having nothing to do with them anymore.
So his name's still on the door. It's still your fault, Tom.
It's still yours. Your name's above the door. Yeah, I don't know how they get out of that.
All right, so we're agreed then. Joe Burrow to the Steelers.
Right.